Guys, it's October, so that means it's Halloween. Let's get into the spirit, shall we? Not what I was going for, but you know what? Sure, yeah, let's go with it. Keeping up with the tradition of yearly spotlights, this year we have the Halloween Spotlight, where it shows off, Halloween games. Well, Halloween updates and games, but you know what I mean. And a month after the takeover is a little bit surprising to me, but I mean, we only had like 2 events this year up to this point, so I mean, I guess it makes sense with the crunch. Basic rundown, there are 2 tokens per games, and every day there's going to be a new quest unlocked in the lobby. So, yeah, that's fun. Do I have anything else to say? I don't think so. I guess we could just get started right now. So, yeah, let's get started. I don't have an interesting transition this time around, so, just have a random meme instead. Is that okay? Yeah, okay, thanks. It's a rehash of Trick or Treat from last year, however, this time, it has the outdoors, and it's infinite. That's cool. Wait, where the fuck did that guy go? It's a good Halloween event, and it follows the criteria of the spooky season. Yay. So it gets a 5 out of 5 on the spooky meter. The game is pretty spooky, however, I don't think I could really say anything else because I don't think that this is original. So this gets a 2 out of 5 on the spookiness meter. This one is pretty good. Unfortunately, the first half is going to drag the points down because it's just a rehash of previous year's Halloween events. However, this one, I think it's new for this event. This part is split up into a few different segments, with the first part being you have to find all 7 boxes. The second part, you're going to need to find a bunch of numbers on tarot cards. And the third part is a boss fight, which is kind of annoying if I'm being honest with you. However, this is still a good event, so this gets a 3.5 out of 5 on the spookiness meter. If it wasn't for the fact that this game is slightly enjoyable with friends, this score would be incredibly low since it's just trick or treat to different houses. Whoa. So original and creative, guys. 2 out of 5 on the spookiness meter because that extra point goes to me, myself, and I because I did this solo 100%. No one else was involved.
I'm pregnant! What? I'm pregnant!
Typically, every time Michael Zombies has been in an event, it's been pretty good. I don't know how to feel about the first quest, at least. The rune quest is kind of annoying because you need to shoot different pumpkins scattered throughout the map, and then you need to craft a certain weapon that costs a lot of money, and if you don't have that money because you're doing it with, like, people that are incompetent, then it's a whole ordeal. The key quest, however, completely makes up for it with a whole unique segment, specifically, what the fuck? The whole thing that they made for this is just something that you would see out of RB battles, except dumbed down for people to easily figure out, which, I mean, yeah, that's fair. However, unfortunately, the rune quest is, not good, so, this gets a 3.5 out of 5 on the spookiness meter. Woo! So you sit in game for 2 hours just to play a bunch of mini games, and this is fucking shit. 0 out of 10. I mean, 0 out of 5. What? You play the game regularly. 0 out of 5. Do you guys love these videos? Because this is holy shit, is that fucking Gerson Boom?
Old man, ammo!
Epic Minigames wasn't bad, but it also wasn't good. I mean, you just play minigames and do quests. Why did they add quests to this game? I don't know. I just think killing the guy next to the cauldron is funny. But yeah, this gets a 3 out of 5 on the spookiness scale because Epic Minigames is a fun game, and I like the Halloween environment. I didn't write anything else down, okay. So you find pumpkins, and then you do a bunch of meaningless tasks to get both the badges. This one is incredibly well done. It took me 2 hours. It's split up into 3 different segments. The rune token being incredibly straightforward, actually. It's the easiest one out of all of them. Easy is not a word that I'm using lightly here. It's more of a complimenting word for this experience. And the second part is split up into 2 different individual segments. The first segment being you gotta get to this barn thing, and then you gotta I forgot. And then you gotta kill the Headless Horseman. Straightforward, right? Right? You have to be very cautious in this game because one hit can pretty much kill your entire run. And if too many people end up dying, it's pretty much game over. I ended up playing after the nerf, which I don't even want to know what the pre-nerf looked like. It was probably hell. But the nerf was considered easier. Again, it took me over 2 hours to do this, so easier is not a word I'm using lightly here. It puts into question if they even had time to play test it, because if they did, they probably would have toned down the difficulty quite significantly, I think. I'd hope. I don't know. I just think that this is a little bit annoying, but at the same time, the pros outweigh the cons here. So, yeah. Overall, this gets a 4 out of 5 on the spookiness scale. By the way, you could have gotten the badge just going AFK. I'm pretty sure as long as you joined, you'd be fine. Win 2 rounds, story I don't care about, blah, blah, blah. More story I don't care about, blah, blah, blah. Escape the library. Oh, this one's a little bit annoying. Yeah, that's it. Cool. 1 out of 5.
This mod adds color.
You gotta fish the fish in the fishing fish while carving pumpkins in the fish. I thought this one was fine. Thought that the delivering the pumpkins was a little bit annoying because it doesn't really tell you where they are. And at the same time, you need to get the fishing rod or just do a lot of trick-or-treating, which, again, pretty annoying that you have to play the game regularly in order to do this stuff, but it's fine. The quests were pretty trivial. This gets a 3 out of 5. Yep. Everything RB Battles touches ends up being pretty good, so I'm not shocked here that this is amazing. But of course, nothing is without its flaws. The 2010 dialogue boxes, the pretty annoying amount of damage that you take just for fighting, bro. Like, okay, pal. And of course, the progression in Claw Machine Simulator just requires a lot of grinding in general, which a little bit annoying, but I mean, it's not the end of the world. But still, what they managed to squeak out in the time frame is pretty good. So I give this a 4 out of 5 on the spookiness scale. Ooh.
Wendy was a little devil thing who was brought to life.
Untitled Tag Games is pretty good. However, unfortunately, this doesn't fit the spooky theming, so I'm gonna have to dock points for that. This story is kind of a continuation off of the Hunt Mega Editions. It shows off one returning character, yeah, no, this is loosely connected. It isn't even a continuation. But it's still a good 30-minute campaign that you can do pretty quickly if you speed through it. This took me an hour because I didn't know what I was doing and I'm stupid. But yeah, this gets a 4.5 out of 5 on the spookiness scale. I don't like stealth games. I fucking hate stealth games. I fucking hate you, Bob the
And my name is Cleveland Brown.
Zootopia ad won't stop following me. It knows what I am. So you gotta commit vehicular manslaughter on a bunch of deceased people. Do that like 1,000 times and you get both badges. Cool. Woohoo, yay! Okay, but it is pretty funny though, so I'm gonna give this an extra 0.3 out of 5.
So, Phil, is it?
So you gotta collect 25 teeth. That is the pretty boring part. However, the more interesting bit comes from the key quest. Yeah, you gotta walk around the map and collect these 5 runes and then bring this... fuck. And then you gotta bring it to this one location at the top left of the map, I think. Forgetting if it's the top left or top right. I think it was the top right. I don't think it matters anyway. This event is over. But, yeah, if you want to make it easier on yourself, you could just reset character a bunch of times until you get the one, a rune close to you, and then you could, do it, yay. And then you can finally, holy fucking shit, it's Temple Run, except it's pretty bad because there's a bunch of fog and, your stamina is kind of bad. No, it's like horrible. You can barely see 3 inches ahead of you, and if you die, you have to walk all the way back over to the campfire and restart the thing. This gets a 3 out of 5 because I'm petty and annoyed.
Sans?
Oh, you just play the game regularly? Where have I seen this before? Bloxburg is... You gotta do a trick-or-treat for the first part. It's actually kind of boring and pretty annoying. If it wasn't for the completionist inside me, I probably would have just skipped this game. But I gotta get all the badges. And the key quest is a glorified fetch quest. Hooray! I love those. I don't have much else to say here. I thought the event was fine. I thought that the haunted house was fine. This gets a 3 out of 5 on the spooky meter. Ooh. And this one didn't need to take me as long as it did, but it did anyway, so that should probably tell you something. It sucked. That's what it was. It sucked. I had to complete this one near the end of the event because I just couldn't... I didn't have time to just waste all of my time on this one game. I had other games to do. I have school. High school's annoying, did you know that? But it's incredibly boring because it's just collect 2 jack-o'-lanterns and then you gotta kill the president. Wait, I'm sorry, what the fuck? What did I miss? Hello?
Mango, mustard, success.
You gotta do this kind of annoying tower defense game. Stud textures everywhere, so yeah, that's a good sign. It's split up into 3 different parts. The first 20 waves, the second 30 waves, and the final 30 waves, I think. I don't know, it's wave 90 that it finishes it. Or is it 40 waves? I don't fucking care. And these maze sections in between, which are interesting if it weren't for the fact that the spider's AI was god-awful, but you know, we're gonna ignore that. The last segment before you get the key badge specifically gave me a hernia. So my strategy was to place down 4 of the pumpkin flyers and let them get a bunch of money. This gets a 2 out of 5. Please, never cook again. Oh yeah, I kind of forgot that they had this collab going on. This one is actually not particularly interesting. It's the shears emoji that you get at the end where it actually comes in handy. I don't want to spoil anything since I'm pretty sure by the time that this video comes out that it's still in the game, so you can still experience it if you really want to. I think Tower Heroes has a track record of valuing their old content in the game. I don't know. But yeah, experience it for yourself. It's really fucking good. That's all I'm gonna say here. 5 out of 5 on the spookiness scale. Yeah, this was really good. Armless Detective is actually a good game. The first part of the quest is actually pretty mid, though. However, the key quest is definitely where all the effort was put into. You can tell that the developers care, given by the custom animations that were made specifically for this part. It's really good. I enjoyed it. It's just not... There's just not a lot of wonder and whimsy that you see in these Roblox games anymore, and I'm just glad that they bothered to even put in animations in the event instead of just whatever the fuck this is. Yeah, anyway, this gets a 4 out of 5. What was I talking about? Collect jack-o'-lantern. I swear we covered this game already. Oh, no, that was keys. Perhaps Banana Eats should stay in 2020. I don't know why it's still here. Blair's is amazing! I think this is all new, but it takes the map from the original game and spices it up by adding a brand new quest line to it instead of just, I don't know, searching for ghosts. I mean, you're still doing that, but there's more to it. I think the only annoying bits here is when the lights go out, because they can do that, and then you're stuck in the dark, and it's pretty annoying, and I want to die, but yeah, otherwise this is pretty good. Kind of repetitive, but still good. It's a 4 out of 5. Whoop.
We try to turn a figure 8 into a circle.
I don't fucking care.
This doesn't even fit the theming. This is just a this is just a borderline waiting simulator. This is practically what it is. You just play for 40 minutes. This fucking sucks. Being kind in this game does actually pay off, because this random kid ended up giving me something actually pretty good. So, be kind, kids. This is a 1 out of 5. You gotta complete 5 quests, and then, yeah, that's it. 0.5 out of 5.
Nothing will unfuck the Thanksgiving turkey.
You just play the game regularly, however, I let it slide this time because Weird Gun Game is actually pretty fun to just run around and kill things in. I mean, I guess that's every gun game, if you wanna... Okay, but this one fits the theme, though. So, I'll let it slide. This gets a 3 out of 5. How evil. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I completely forgot what you're due here. But it's probably bad anyway, so, it's gonna get like a 1 out of 5. Ooh, so spooky, yeah.
This shit sucks.
You collect 3 pumpkins and you kill this one big evil guy. It's not that hard, actually. It was pretty easier compared to whatever the hell the takeover was. Jesus fucking Christ, that was hard. Oh yeah, 4 out of 5, I guess, I don't know. And the 31st game of this event is complete in utter trash. It is mindless slop. Wow, how fun. And of course, it wouldn't be slop without premium payout. Woohoo! Yay! It gives you the illusion of choice, allowing you to pick either the big, medium, or small pumpkin, and it doesn't really matter what you pick, because you're probably going to end up picking like 2 small pumpkins and doing that the entire time, because, dude, This is just so annoying. It's not even funny. You need to carry over 250 pumpkins to make the bridge, and again, it's the illusion of choice here when all of the fucking pumpkins are horrible. I can ramble on and on about how much I fucking hate this and how much it sucks, but I'm sure if you played it, you know. However, I will say that you can easily glitch your character to get your base weight again, so you can easily cheese it. So, haha, fuck you game, I'm not playing your game fairly. Deserved. And with that, we conclude the event. So, was it bad? Very much. It was worse than usual, actually. I could ramble on and on about how Roblox needs quality control with these events. However, with most of the shit that has happened the last few months, specifically regarding Roblox, it's not looking good here. However, I am holding on to the small hope that Roblox does make another good event like the Hunt Mega Edition. Unfortunately, as the events continue on, the less and less I have to say about most of these games. It's unfortunate because there's a lot of talented people that enter their games into the event but just don't put any effort into their event. I understand if you are focusing on a major game update, if you have like weekly updates, but come on, can't you just put some time into an official Roblox event to make it special at least? So that was the Halloween Spotlight. I'll put my pros and cons on the screen because I am too tired to list everything out. So, yeah, that was the video. I hope you guys have a happy Halloween. Wait, what do you mean it's February?